Yo, what up? What up? Yo, what up? What up? Is we live? We live over here? Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all hear me, man. Doing it live. Hold up. It's good. Sorry, man. I'm starting on a new computer. So every time I do this, like I have, hold on, let me make sure this is working. All right, hold up. Good. Yo, just give me a moment, guys. Can y'all hear me? I got a new webcam, a new computer, a new webcam. Trying to make all this work, and then YouTube went it and changed some of the algorithms on me, so like this doesn't look the way it used to back in the day. But hopefully this is working. All right. Anyway, see, man, Big Brandon Carter. We back doing the live Q&A. I had stopped. I was doing it most of last year, but I stopped around September. Of last year. I just had a lot of stuff to do. I wanted to finish writing the book. Thanks for everybody who bought the book, or Ultimate Mass. It's right now it's number one men's health book on Amazon, and it's the number one exercise and diet book. So it's like it's number one on 2 categories. So like I really appreciate that. Yeah, man, that was another one of my goals. That was one of my goals for 2014 to write another best-selling book, and y'all help me appreciate that, man. Yeah, man. All right, so normally, all right, so I like to start these Q&As off with just like a little bit of advice before I start getting into your questions. I'm seeing them all right here, so I'm gonna answer them in a minute. But yo, I just want to give y'all some advice real quick. I always like to start these Q&As off with some life advice. Law 29, 48 laws of power. Plan all the way to the end. Take into account all possible obstacles and circumstances that may get in your way. You gotta always do that, man. Shit is always gonna go wrong. It's not if it's gonna go wrong, or it's not will shit go wrong. I'm sorry. It's not if shit will go wrong. It's when will shit go wrong. It's gonna happen. Shit's gonna happen every time. Like I had to set this shit up hours ago, right? Just as, for example, this Q&A, because I'm using a new computer, I'm using a new webcam. I just want to make sure everything was right. Shit seems to be working, so that's good. But like, yo, I remember once I just tried to jump right into the Q&A on my laptop on a new computer, on a different computer once, and shit was just all fucked up. So like, but that kind of thing happens. Things fuck up, man. Like you got if you're going somewhere, plan time for traffic. Like plan for it. Like don't people's like, oh man, I had so much traffic. I'm like, nah, man, you didn't plan for the traffic, right? You should have been planned on being here 20 minutes earlier just in case you ran into traffic. Like, or oh man, people say shit like that all the time, man. Or I didn't have enough time to do this to complete this project. And like, nah, man, you didn't give yourself enough time to complete the project. You didn't take into account the things that might get in your way. That's what happened. It's not that some shit stopped you from doing it. You didn't plan for shit stopping you from doing it. And that's a mistake. That's a flaw. You need to take that shit into account all the time. I started this shit exactly at 5 o'clock, like I said I would, right? And the reason I was able to do that because I planned for shit to go wrong. I was sitting here chilling at 4:30, ready to go. But because shit goes wrong. And it's like that all the time. It's like especially if you're starting a business, right? Like if you do anything in business, like I was doing some consulting for my friend's company, and she was just telling me all the problems she was having making money. Like they're not making a lot of money. It's like, and I was like, well, all right, so give me your profit margins, right? And she's operating at a 30% profit margin, and that's not like enough. That's not enough room for error, right? Especially when it's your first time starting a business, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. Just gonna go wrong. You don't have the reputation in the marketplace. You got to account for all these things you can't really plan for. You have to like just assume shit is going wrong. So like she's selling her product for $8. It costs her $6 to make each one. $2 off each one, 30% profit margin. That's not enough room for error. No wonder she's not making enough money. I wouldn't get in any business where I wasn't making at least 100% profit margin. But that I don't want to get into that. All I'm saying is fucking plan for shit going wrong, right? If you're gonna go on a date with a chick, chicks are fucking women are notoriously flaky, right? Set up at least two dates with two different chicks, and you one of them is gonna cancel on you. One of them is gonna cancel on you for whatever. One of them is gonna flake, and you'll have the other one. Don't worry about both of them about having to flake on one, because the odds are that one of them's gonna flake, and that's just how it is, man. Anyway, man, let me get into this shit, how do I get as thug as you? Batman asks. Well, Batman, the thing is, to get fucking, like, I was born and raised on the south side of Chicago, man. Like, I'm not in the south side right now, but the south side is in me. Okay. I don't know if this is something you can teach or something you can learn, right? It's you can teach it, but it takes 30 years. All right, so I don't know how to do it. If you got 30 years, all right, here's the thing. If you got 30 years, if you're willing to give yourself 30 years to accomplish being as thug as me, then go move to the south side right now, around Stony Island, Cottage Grove area. Move over there. 47th Street, Cottage Grove. That's a good place to start. Get you a place there and live there for 30 years, man. Then you'll be as thug as me. Assuming you survive. Trying to get up into this sorry guys, I'm having a little bit of trouble with the comment shit. Somebody asks, Richard Allison asks, ass or tits, man? Fucking ass, man. Ass. Is that even a real question? Ass, man. Listen, I'm genetically predisposed to liking ass. My people write songs about ass, You rarely hear a rap song all about titties, right? But you're gonna hear songs about. You turn on the radio right now. There's songs about ass. A real wise man. I believe he was a knight. He was a knight of some sort. Like, I think Queen Elizabeth knighted him, and he said, "My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun." And that was the knight, Sir Mix-a-Lot. And true words has never been spoken, man. All right, what else we got going up here, man? Fuck, man, this shit was different last time. Like, let me try to refresh this page, because I was able to like look at the live Q&A was set up, man. YouTube's doing something different now. Whatever, I'm gonna do the best I can. Hannibal Heigl asks, what do you earn money from YouTube? I don't know if I understand your question, Hannibal. Do I make money from YouTube? Yeah, if you're asking me the specific amount, I am not at liberty to disclose that information. But like, it's I mean, some people might get excited over that amount of money, man. But I think a little bigger than that, man. Like, it ain't fucking Bentley money. I'll put you like that. It ain't like motherfucking. It ain't limousines and limousines and caviar money. You know what I'm saying? Ryan, all right. Philip something says, how to start a fitness blog, marketing money with it. Listen, guys, you might want to start proofreading your questions. I know some of you, the English might not be your first language, man, but like I speak, like we're gonna do this in English. All right, we're gonna do this in English. What are your thoughts on the recent cop killings of black men? All right, listen, I wasn't gonna go any of this shit. I saw like Kelly Muscle talked about, I saw Mike Rashid talked about it, and I wasn't gonna say shit about it since you asked. I think the same thing about the recent ones as I've been thinking about all of them. Like this shit's been happening for a long time. This ain't new shit, man. Like down the street, from where I am right now in Queens, New York. The what's the name got shot 50 times, man. 50 times by the police. That's a little excessive, right? That's a little excessive. Sean Bell, Sean Bell got shot 50 times, man. And it's just like, all right, listen, I'm not gonna get too into it. I'm gonna put it to you like this. As a black man, the cops can kill you with impunity. I'm not even gonna talk about if it's right or wrong. You should just know that it should happen. They can kill you and get away with it. They're not gonna get prosecuted. No one's gonna go to jail. All right. Knowing that, you have to act accordingly. I'm not saying it's right, but you have to know that. You have to understand that when you're interacting with the police, that they have the license to kill you if you're black, right? So you got to act accordingly, man. Like, man, this is gonna sound bad. Like a lot of black people are gonna be mad at me for what I'm about to say. You gotta fucking chill, man. You gotta fucking chill when the police come. I turn into Carlton from the Fresh Prince when I'm around the police. I'm like, hi, officer. Oh no, it's great to hear that, right? And that's why the police have never killed me every time they stop me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was with White Boy Brian, and we got stopped by the police. And he was like mouthing off. I was like, Brian, stop. I got mad at Brian. Listen, I'm sorry, officer. I'm sorry for my friend over here. Officer, I'm sorry for my friend. He's a little upset. He's acting a little crazy today. I'm sorry about him because I knew that they could kill me with impunity. But see, I knew that he felt like he's an entitled white man. You know what I'm saying? Like the world is his. The fucking United States of America was literally set up for him to succeed. You know what I'm saying? This cop can kill me and like go back to work tomorrow, right? So like I'm like, yo, chill the fuck out, man. And like that shit really helped me. That attitude really helped me when I was fucking back when I was hustling, when I was doing like bad shit. Like I never I would get stopped by the cops with fucking shit on me. You know what I'm saying? Like back a long time ago, past the statute of limitations, and it would be all good, right? Because I knew how to act. So like the dude in New York who got killed by the cops, it's fucked up. Shouldn't do it. But if it were me and the cops stopped me, this is every time the cops stop me, I turn into Carlton Bank. Oh, hey, officer. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just because I don't want to fucking die over this shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me, man. Like, people are scared of black men, and cops included. Like, people are scared. Like, I go to places and I walk into a store. I know that they're frightened of me. I just know that. Like, I don't even put my little shit that like white people don't have to think about. Like, I don't put my hands in my pockets when I go into like Walgreens or CVS because I know they're looking to think did I just steal something. Like I know that like my white friends don't have to think about shit like that, but I think about that shit all the time. Like I'm always trying to put people at ease. Like when I moved into this neighborhood, I'm the only black dude like in the whole neighborhood, man. Like it's like the exact opposite of how I grew up. So like I'm like the only black dude not in the whole neighborhood, but on the whole block, definitely in the whole building. And I get in an elevator with like some old white lady, and initially they used to be scared of me when I get in. Like they would do shit like wait for me to press the elevator button to see where I'm getting off, so I don't see where she is. Like I know like these are like little tactics they use to protect it to themselves. I'm just like initially I'm like I would like so like I make sure I hold the door for everyone. I try to put them at ease. Hey, listen, I'm not a threat. Especially me, I'm big as fuck. I'm bald. I got tattoos. I can be frightening. So I go I go out of my way to carry myself in a way that like where I don't come across threatening. And that's how you, as a black man, that's how you have to do with the police, so they don't kill you, because they can and they will, and they'll get away with it. That's all I got to say about that. I probably went too long on that issue. Looking for some. Someone would say, "Yo, I bought a journal today and a book, so you can start the progress create. Thanks for the motivation. They want to know what I'm currently reading. I'm making the mistake of reading multiple books at once right now. So what do I got here? I'm reading. I got like these are the ones I'm getting into, right? Motherfucking Mean Jeans, you know, Confessions of Advertising Man. This dude is a famous advertiser. The Rules of Your Subconscious Mind, and The Power of Myth by Joseph Campbell. And that's a mistake. Like, you shouldn't read multiple books at once like that. You should probably just get one done, do one and done. But I'm fucking retarded. Somebody asked me, what are my thoughts of ZZ? I don't know how to pronounce it. ZYZZZ. I've never watched none of his videos. I only know about him because you guys comment about him. So I guess to say I don't have any thoughts. Somebody wants to know what music do I listen to when I'm working out? Can you any specific artists? Yo, that new Young Jeezy goes hard. I don't think Jeezy's a good rapper, but his music, puts me in the right mood to like attack mode. Wait, T.I. Pandora, put on T.I.'s Pandora station and just skip all the girl songs. You'll like all the. Those would be some good tracks. That's some good shit to work out to, man. In my gym, they always play white girl music. Like they always playing. I know that Katy. I know that fucking. I know like every Katy Perry song by heart, and I know every fucking Taylor Swift song by heart, because that's what they play in my gym. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. Like, listen, I'm trying to fucking deadlift 300 plus pounds right over here. I don't want to listen to Maroon 5 ain't gonna help me do that. You know what I'm saying? Maroon 5 ain't gonna help me do that, man. Goddamn Nick Jonas ain't gonna help me with that. Brandon, what came first, normal strength training or calisthenics? For me, it was normal strength training, but that was like just like shit that my football coach and my track coaches told me to do. Like it was more like for sport, which is different than hypertrophy building type training. And then when I got out of that, I started doing a lot of calisthenics. And if you watch the video on my response to the Natty or Not article, you can see like some old videos of me. Like you see a comparison of the two bodies. Like hypertrophy training has a different result than body weight training. Like, not to say one is better than the other, it just depends on what you're going for, Somebody says, how can people be afraid of such a friendly, funny dude? Because it is. It's all how you carry yourself. It's all how you carry yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like my nephew, man. Like my nephew, he's always like, man, cops always stopping me, patting me down. He's like, people in my building are scared of me. Like everywhere I go, I get harassed. They think I'm stealing. And I'm like, yo, it's the way you carry yourself, man. Like, first of all, you black, so you gotta understand that people you already strike fear in the hearts of others, right? Just from being black. Then you walk around with these fucking dreadlocks. You look like Chief Keef. You got your pants down, you know what I'm saying? And like, I'm not saying like, yo, it's just the way you carry yourself. You're not smiling, you know, you got use all how you carry yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like if I want to be intimidating, I can be, but because I don't want to be intimidating, I go out of my way to put people at ease because I know that, you know, a fucking 190 pound, 6 foot tall black man, bald headed black man with tattoos, that can be intimidating, man. If I just saw me and I didn't know who I was, I might be scared of me too. Are you gonna try to learn Chinese again? Yeah, probably, maybe not. So when I ask, do you think genetics contribute to your great physique? Well, first of all, thank you for saying my physique is great. Do I think genetics contribute? I think they contribute as far as aesthetics are concerned, right? Because I have small joints, small waist. Like I have an abnormally small waist. Like my waist is like 28 inches, right? And I think it's because, you know, like my mom was like one of the first black models in New York in like in the 70s, you know, runway models. And she's like just got small joints. And I got that too. And like small joints have a good look as far as with muscles, they make your, it's a different kind of look. Same thing. It's one of the reasons why Phil Heath is so successful. He has small joints, man. Like he's a lanky, used to be a lanky, small joint guy. Used to be a basketball player. So it's like I think that regard. As far as building muscle, like I don't think that I build muscle better than other people, man. In fact, I think it's I've seen people put on muscle a lot quicker than me, you know, like maybe as far as staying lean, I might be more predisposed to being lean. But you know, as far as leanness goes, man, it's calories in, calories out, you know, like the you know, it works for all human beings, man. Like regardless of genetics, if you burn more calories than you consume, you're gonna lose weight. You're gonna burn fat. Do I dig the drill movement in Chi-Town? uh Not so much. I mean, I get it, you know what I'm saying? I get it, but like, you know, I don't know, man. I come from a school of thought, man. Fucking lyrics are important, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's just like, I mean, I get that shit. Like, I get it. But I don't know, man. Lyrics is important to me. How much money do I spend on food a week? It's a good fucking question. I'll let you know. I'll know next week. I don't have I haven't been keeping track of my budget like that. Right, because my money hasn't been an issue. Uh, money not an issue for me, man. So I haven't really been worried about it. But it's interesting. I'd be interested in knowing that my goddamn self. How much time do I spend a day reading? 1 to 2 hours a day. How cold is this? Cold as fuck. Like this thing I have on my like blocking the window, like as insulation. It's so cold here in New York. Oh my god. Do I always cut carbs on non-workout days and avoid carbs before work, like before working out, like carb and backload on training days? I don't always do that. I was doing that during that time when I made that video. Right now, I'm going on an intenser bulk right now. Like I'm trying to see. It's cold out, so like it's the bulking season, man. So I just want to see how much I can put on. So I'm not even this first time in about 2 years that I'm not doing intermittent fasting. I'm going for it. I'm working out twice a day, and I'm eating 4 to 5 times a day, big meals, you know, carbs in each meal, you know, just keeping my insulin levels high. Kind of shit on. Did I did I go to college? Yeah, I went to Howard University, School of Business, marketing degree. How to stay motivated and don't quit the gym for a period of time and then start over. Yo, listen, here's the thing. This goes for the gym, this goes for anything you're doing in life, anything you're trying to accomplish. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object at rest tends to stay at rest, right? So momentum. Once you get momentum, do not stop. Do not stop, because it's much harder to start or restart than it is to keep going. Once you're going, it's easier to stay on the path. But once you stop, man, I had a lot of shit. Like, this is why I hate the fucking holidays. Because one, I'm not religious, you know. So I hate the holidays. I just hate it. And two, you know, America, we have Thanksgiving, right, and then followed by Christmas. Both holidays that I don't believe in at all, right? So, but I have to conform to the social norms, you know, of my environment and the people around me, right? So technically celebrate those holidays, or I just go through motions with my family and friends. But I hate them because one, I don't care or believe in them, and two, it take me out of my fucking pattern, man. They break up my fucking they take me out of my routine, man. Like, I like to be in a once I get a routine going and I get that established and I start going for it every day, and it becomes automatic. It becomes a habit, right? You want to get things. If you read the book The Power of Habit, you'll find that once you do things for a certain amount of time, you no longer need discipline to do them, right? It doesn't take discipline or motivation. It becomes a habit. But once you get out of that habit for whatever reason, it's so much harder to stop. So, like, now that the holiday's over, like, I'm actually like struggling to get back into all my routines. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I fucking hate it. But, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So I'm getting back into my routine. So I would say to you, how to stay motivated is, do not stop. Do not stop. Once you start to quit, it becomes easier to quit. Quitting is a habit too. Giving up is a habit too. And once anything you do for a certain amount of time, you build the neural pathways in your brain. So it becomes easier to do it each time, right? So if you do something many times, right? Peyton Manning, he goes to throw a football. He doesn't have to think about his footwork. He doesn't have to think about, not cocking it back too much. All his mechanics. He's had so many reps he can do it without thinking, right? Once you do anything for a certain amount of time, you'll be able to you'll build the neural pathways in your brain where you'll be able to do it without thinking. But if you fucking stop, it's hard to start again, man. It's hard to start again. So, like, the only thing you can do is struggle through that point where you want that initial point. It might take months, but struggle to get yourself in the pattern of doing it all the time, and then it'll become second nature. And then you won't need discipline to do it anymore. It'll become automatic. Creatine nonstop because the creatine takes a okay. It's not that I can't read, it's that, I'm just gonna read this the way it's written. Creatine nonstop, they say no because the liver has to take the hit also with the whey and shit. All of that is wrong. All of that is wrong. There's no, in all of history, there's been no evidence to support the fact that creatine is unhealthy for your liver or any organ in any way. And same whey protein. Whey protein is milk. Whey protein is made from milk. It's a byproduct of the cheese manufacturing process. That's like saying, like, I have friends. I have a friend whose mom died giving birth to him, right? So he's been on baby formula his whole life. Okay, baby formula. One of the main, go on Gerber's website, they brag about it being 100% whey protein. They didn't cycle him off of whey protein when he was a baby. Now he drank that shit until he was a fucking man, and he still drinks it now, and he's swole. He's been taking whey protein every day for 30 years. Is what I'm trying to say. Just stop smoking, bro. How should I get my fitness back on track? Yeah, you're just gonna have to work through it, man. Like, Honestly, man, I smoked for like 14 years, cigarettes, and I worked out like the majority of that time too. Like ran, played sports. Like it didn't affect me too much, man. So like I don't know, but you're gonna have to just do it. Like they say, it takes about 3 months after smoking for your lung capacity to start to be back to 50% of what a normal person's lung is. But I think with training you can speed that up, man. Like just train your cardiovascular system, train your respiratory system, start doing sprints, and start training, man. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. How do I get flat abs? I want it to look like I'm tensing all the time. It sounds like you're not cut enough. You know, you need to cut. You need to read Ultimate Cuts, or the simple. Or if you don't want to read, if you don't read the book Ultimate Cuts, the simple way to burn fat is to burn more fat calories than you consume. Does drinking too much water stunt the growth of teens? Where do you guys get this shit from, man? Who's telling you all this shit? Who's telling you this shit, man? Who's telling you this shit? For real, who's telling you this shit? It's fucking child abuse. These people lying to you about this shit. You know, um, aside from anabolic steroids, there's almost nothing you can do to stunt your linear growth. Lifting weights won't do it. There's I can't think of any supplements that are the over-the-counter supplements that will stunt your growth. People don't need whey protein stunts your growth. I'm telling you, man, to get whey protein in babies. There's a baby right now somewhere in America drinking whey protein. It's not going to stunt his growth. I guarantee. Uh, fuck, man. Drinking water stunt your growth? I mean, where are you guys getting this shit from? It's fucking child abuse. These people telling you all these lies. Am I ever going to stop taking creatine? Why or why not? Probably won't stop taking it because I don't need to. I don't need to stop. I like it. Can I speak on my business outside of YouTube? And can I explain my meditation techniques? Yeah, I mean, I do affiliate. I do a lot of affiliate marketing. I do internet-based marketing. I have other websites that I run that I do the marketing for. I do marketing consulting, like I talked to at the beginning of this video, where like I talked I do some business consulting. Remember, I was telling you that I fucking in the beginning of this, I was telling you I was advising someone on their business. I have another video where I was talking about my boy. He has a $3 million business, but he's about to sell it and he wants to start a new thing. He was asking me for advice. Like I do consulting as far as that's concerned, but only like that's just through word of mouth shit. Like people like that's not something I advertise. It's just like through my network. Because I don't want people hitting me up for that shit all the time. I don't like exchanging time for money. That's the thing. You don't want to exchange time for money. That's a sucker move. That's a sucker move. Like a doctor or a dentist who has his own practice, it's technically from a tax standpoint, it's a business, right? The IRS considers it a business, but really he just created a job for himself. You have to actually be there. If you're exchanging time for money, then it's a job. It's not a business. My meditation techniques. All right, this is what I do, man. I just stand. I fucking sit still. George usually sits on my lap, and George is my cat, not a fucking man. George, and I close my eyes and I breathe in and out and I focus on my breath. All right, I focus on my breath, and every time my mind starts wandering or start thinking something, I just bring it back to my breath. I bring the attention back to my breath. And I do that for 10 to 15 minutes. It's really hard. You'll notice how much your mind starts to wander. And then once you do that, once you start doing that in your life, man, you'll just notice certain kind of clarity. Like you just notice you're able to focus more, and your thoughts just have a lot more clarity. Something I can't really explain. It's helped me in a variety, definitely in a lot of ways. Helped me affect my temper. I think I used to have a temper before I did. I mean, I still probably have a temper. I still probably have a little bit of a temper, but I would probably be in prison if it wasn't for the meditation. Uh, Somebody, what is the something for you to not talk about your business on YouTube? Do you own a business? I mean, yo, listen, because first of all, it's a fucking fitness channel, right? For the most part, I mean, personal development. I'm kind of easing my way into a fitness slash to it being a fitness slash personal development channel for the streets, and and so like it's just it just hasn't been applicable. Like I said, I do internet marketing. Like I don't. How much more what more do y'all want, man? Y'all want me y'all want to see financial statements? Y'all want to see my tax returns? like, like that's what I do. But like, I'm not an internet marketing expert though, and that's why I don't talk about it, right? I'm a fitness expert, right? They say it takes 10,000 hours for someone to become an expert, and something I have well over 10,000 hours of training just myself. Then I have an additional. I probably have fucking 40,000 hours training other people. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Like I'm a fucking expert in fitness. So that's why I try to talk. I say that with certitude. I'm a fucking expert, right? I've written 2 best-selling books on fitness. You know, I've trained professional athletes. You know what I'm saying? Like I got testimonials from like people I've trained, from people who've like read my blog. Like that's some shit that I can say with certitude that I am an expert in that field. Internet marketing, I don't think I'm an expert at it. I'm just a fucking guy who read a bunch of books or did a lot of studying and just applied it, like, you know. And then it's also like I have a marketing degree, right? So that helps. Like I don't know. I don't think I'm an expert at it though. So like that's why I don't get into it, right? Because if you want to learn more about internet marketing, I suggest you go to the warriorforum.com and there are some guys who are fucking experts. Should I cut or bulk first? You should always cut until you are as lean as you want to be before you bulk. You should always get as lean as you want to be before you bulk. I explained that before because fat cells, yeah, man. What happened to squat every day? Can you dunk? I did an update on squat. Yo, yeah, I did an update on the squat every day challenge. I did an update on that shit. People wanted to see like before and after. I didn't take before and after pics of my legs, man. Like I didn't know that was something you guys would be so interested in. I guess I should have. I didn't take pictures. Maybe I'll do another update. But yeah, I mean, my weight, I'll say my weight went up, my form got way better, and squats just became, I don't know, I just got better at squatting, if that makes sense, right? Anything you do every day, you're gonna get good at, you know. And I just got better at squats. Can I dunk? Depends on who's guarding me. Yo, BBC, how do you stay calm even in tense situations? I mean, stay in control of yourself. Keep it up, bro. You're the best. Thanks a lot, man. Meditation helps with that. Like meditation, like, you know, like it just gives you more control. Just gonna be more control of yourself and more control of your mind, right? Like emotions are nothing more than biochemicals storms happening in your brain, right? That's all they are. Like your brain, you can control your emotions. You don't have to you're not at the will of your emotions. Like some people think that, oh, I was mad, so I did, or I'm just mad, or I'm just happy. Like, no, you can choose what emotion you want to feel whenever you want to feel it. You can control your state. You can control your fucking self. Unless you're a woman, then you might not be able to. But as a man, you should be able to control your fucking emotions. You should be able to control your emotions, right? So when something happens, and you need to be fucking cool, calm. You need to be fucking cool, man. You need to be calm, right? Like I told you that situation where the cops stopped us, right? I had to be fucking Brian. He gets emotional, you know. I was like, I got a little upset at him, but I didn't show it. Nobody, because I didn't want the cops to see me get intense, and then they get intimidated and they take their guns out and shoot me in the face. So I was, just be cool, man. Just be cool. Like it's something you gotta learn how to do as a man, especially as a businessman. Like just even like even if from a tactical standpoint, being emotional and angry is never productive. I can't think of any situation where losing your fucking cool will help the situation. It's always better to stay calm, assess the situation, act pragmatic, and attack it because anger clouds your judgment. So it's just from I would say meditate and just know you can control your emotions. Like you control your emotions. One good way to control your emotions is control your physiology, right? If you start making holding yourself like you're angry, you can actually get angry just by making angry faces or angry mannerisms. Same thing with being happy. Like the way it's like your emotion creates emotion. Like what does Elliot say? Your body is your mind. That's true shit. It's like when there's been studies, you can Google it. You smile, you laugh, it releases serotonin and dopamine in your brain, which these are the chemicals that your brain secretes that actually make you happy. Like your physiology is a big part of it. So when people ask me, how do you become more confident, or how do you be happy all the time? Yo, act happy all the time. Be happy. It's not just faking it. Like it's faking it at first, but until your brain gets the signals that you're acting happy, and then it'll start to secrete the hormones that will actually cause you to be happy. It'll be a feedback loop. I don't want to get too into it. Yeah, if you see the video, I have a video, 5 surprising ways on how to build testosterone. Maybe somebody will post. Maybe when some good Samaritan will post it in the comments. And in that video, I show a piece of a TED talk where they showed that they had people stand confidently, take up space, like alpha males. Those people's, and then they tested their testosterone levels right after. They tested before and after, and when they did that, their testosterone levels actually rose, man, like substantially, and their cortisol levels dropped. Cortisol is stress hormone. So how you hold yourself, man, it's like it plays a big part. Like if you it plays a big part of at who you are. Brandon, how old are you? I'm fucking I'm sorry. I'm I'm 32. Yo, BBC, what's the best way to even out uneven pecs? I would say any muscular imbalance. I would use dumbbells for a particular amount of time, and don't use like a 75-pound dumbbell and a 50-pound dumbbell. Use the same weight until they start evening out. See, because what happens is like when you're using barbells are the best for building like overall size. But the problem comes when you have one side is predominantly stronger than the other. It will start to compensate for the weak side, but you won't, even when the bar is even, like your stronger side will be compensating for the weaker side, and you won't see it happening, but it's happening. And dumbbells kind of take that out the equation. So like just use the same dumbbells until things start to even out. Frank Zane in his book said that bulking is bullshit. Do you agree with that? Um, I mean, Frank Zane, man. Uh, I mean, I think like those 6 month long bulks where you get fat and shit. I think that's like it's difficult. That's hard for natural bodybuilders to do that. It's easier for guys on roids to do shit like that because they're taking drugs when they're on they're taking steroids, right? So like they'll put on more muscle during the bulk than fat, and then they're taking other shit to other drugs to burn more fat than muscle when they come off. But like I've seen fucking I've seen fucking natural guys bulk for 6 months, then cut for 6 months and break even. They spent more than half the year looking fat and sloppy just to break even. So in that regard, I would say, yeah, man, like that traditionally it is. Um, I always like Frank Zane. He's one of my favorite bodybuilders. Brandon, can you get 19-inch biceps in 5 years, starting at 14? Man, I've never met a 19-year-old with 19-inch biceps. I mean, shit, I don't have 19-inch biceps, so I don't know. How to get the most girls in college. All right, this goes for college or anywhere, high school, in the streets, if you're just a regular guy. I'm big on logging everything. So you want to get you another log. All right. And I want you to write down every approach. I mean, cold approaches, like girls on the street, in the bank, on the train, and the gym, cold approaches you've never seen before. Write down the time of day you approached her, where you approached her, what kind of girl it was, anything. She's fat, ugly, hot, black, white, Spanish, Mexican, her age, get as detailed about the girl as you can, and also how it worked out, right? And then maybe later, if y'all go out on a date, then put that on that part of the log as well. And then get 1,000 approaches. Like if you don't have log, if you don't have, I mean, do at least 100. Get at least 100 approaches. All right, I'm gonna take it. Get 100 approaches, one a day, cold, one approach, one a day for a little over 3 months. And by the end, you will be really good at approaching women cold. And that's how you got to get, like, to get girls, you got to know how to approach, man. You got to be an approach machine, man, because everybody's gonna have a certain success ratio, right? Mine might be lower or higher than yours, okay? But it doesn't matter. You still got to approach, right? So like if you only get 50%, if your success rate is half the success rate of Brad Pitt or somebody like that, right? Then you just have to work. That means you have to approach twice as many girls as Brad Pitt, right? And another thing will happen. You'll get better at approaching, right? You'll get better at approaching just by doing it. But then, so you're going to get better at it by doing 100 approaches. I mean, cold approaches. I don't mean online. I don't mean Instagram, sending a bitch a DM. I don't mean fucking saying what's up to a chick on Facebook or Tinder or no bullshit like that. I'm talking about cold approaches on the street, right? Chicks you never met before. I don't mean like a friend of a friend, someone who's, I mean like fucking chicks you never met before. Once you get 100 of these approaches, you'll get better at doing it. You'll probably get a lot of success just from doing 100, right? Just from doing 100 approaches, you're probably gonna have a lot of success just from that, right? But you'll also, now once you have that 100 approaches, you'll have the fucking data, so you'll know, all right, where am I most successful at meeting girls? Because you've logged every place. What time of day seems to be most successful? You'll start to notice the trends. What kind of girl is most receptive to me? Maybe maybe skinny white chicks are more receptive to you, or maybe fucking young Korean girls are more receptive to you. You know what I'm saying? You'll find out what demographic is better for you. And if you don't have, like, listen, if you don't have at least 100 approaches documented, you don't know shit about fucking talking to women. You don't know shit about meeting women. All right. And if you really want to get good, man, you should have set a goal of 1,000 approaches. 1,000. I mean, that's gonna take years to get 1,000 approaches. You'll probably get listen. Most of you guys are probably nice guys from good homes. If you set out to do 100 approaches, you'll probably have a legit girlfriend before you even get to 50. But for the players, you need at least 100 approaches, man. How many rest days does a particular muscle need? I don't know, man. It is going to depend on the person, and especially like I just have different. Depends on a lot of factors on how hard did you hit it. Pause. Um, what kind of training were you doing? What are your goals? Your recovery. Too much for me to just answer that to give you black and white because there's too many variables. Could you do weights while on a cut? You should lift weights when you're on a cut. You should lift heavy when you're on a cut, right? Because you want to send a signal to your muscles to your body that it needs to be as possible, right? So a good way to do that is to lift heavy while cutting, and your body will be like, oh man, I need to keep this muscle. I say I'm white, but I say nigga. Is that safe? Listen, man, James Smith, it sounds like you're from America. It's a free country, man. You can do whatever you want, you can do whatever you want. One of my white friends was like, hey man, how come black guys out here, black guys on the train saying nigga all the time, and no one, how come I can't say it? How come I say it? First of all, I'm just like, yo, why do you want to say it? Like what is so appealing about this to you? I don't get that. You're a white man in America, man. You can do whatever. You know what I'm saying? This country was literally set up for you to succeed, but you just won't feel complete unless you can say nigga. Listen, you can do whatever you want. Don't say that you can't say nigga. Say the truth, which is you fear the consequences of saying it. That's the truth. It's not, you're not, no one, you can do and say whatever you want. The truth is you're afraid of how it might work out for you, So, freedom does not exonerate you for consequences of your actions. Everything you do has consequences. BBC favorite training apps. I'm not a big app guy. Like just in general. I don't really like I keep my phone on airplane mode almost all the time, man. Galaxy S4 almost all the time. I hate being interrupted. I hate being disturbed. I never answer phone calls. Everyone in my life knows they have to text me, and then even still, they probably won't get a response for a few hours or maybe the next day. I check email once or twice a week. Like, I don't like people interrupting me. Funny thing though is I fucking respond to these goddamn YouTube comments all day. I respond to comments more than any other YouTuber you find any other YouTuber with over 200,000 subscribers. See if that motherfucker is responding as many comments as me. Brandon, how much volume do you use for bigger muscles and smaller muscles? Listen, I don't do isolation trainings. When you say smaller muscles, I don't really do a lot of isolation movements at all. You'll never catch me doing fucking one arm cable rolls or goddamn fly. Nothing makes me more upset than when I see like these skinny high school kids in the gym. A piece of land. Skinny high school kids in the gym doing cable crossovers and shit. I ain't gonna get you big, man. I know why you're in here doing fucking cross. I know you want to get big, man, because every high school kid wants to get big. Or at least bigger. You weigh 150, you probably want to get bigger, right? You're probably not in there to cut up. And I see these assholes doing goddamn shoulder shrugs and fucking cable crossovers. They love those two exercises, man. High school kids, right? And they love the cable machine. They should stop fucking with the cable machines in general. They should all just do barbell work if you want to get big, man. So like for me, man, like I like to do. I don't do crazy volume though. I get my volume per week. So anyway, I'll do like 1 or 2 compound exercises for each body part, and I'll do about 4 sets of each exercise. And with rep range between 8 and 12, 90 seconds between each set. That's what works for me for hypertrophy, right? That might not work for you though, right? The only way you can tell is if you have a training log and then you try something, certain parameters for a certain amount of time, and then you can then for a month or two, then you look at the data and see, okay, how much progress have I made? You measure yourself before and after. I mean, each month or whatever, you say, oh, I didn't make that much progress anymore. Let me try some different parameters. You have to see what works for you, and that's why you have to keep a log. That's important to keep a log because you'll find out what works for you and what doesn't. I found out through trial and error that's worked for me. Same thing with logging your approaches to women, man. Then you'll find out what works. All right, maybe this opener didn't work. This opener works 90% of the times on Mexican girls, but white girl, it doesn't work on white girl or whatever. You'll have all this data that will help you, that will just help you, man. My friend recently told me about a study that shows the best way to keep your natural testosterone levels at its peak is to bulk for 2 weeks and then cut for 2 weeks. Your perspective. When I was in high school, I read an article by Bill Phillips. It was called Anabolic Burst Training, and that was basically what he was doing. That was the protocol for that: bulking for 2 weeks, cutting for 2 weeks, and just repeating endlessly. And I did that for a while. But the problem was, I found it effective. The problem was I was getting because I was a skinnier kid, like that was too much cutting for me. I didn't need to do that much cutting, so I changed it to bulking for like a month and then cutting for 2 weeks. Then I just realized I didn't need like these this doing it for a certain time was kind of arbitrary, right? And now when I came up with micro cutting and bulking, it's the same concept. It's based on this concept by Bill Phillips, and it seems like that's what your friend is talking about. It's to just do it until, like, bulk until you feel like you're starting to get a little fat. First, get as lean as you want to get, then bulk until you feel like you're starting to get a little fat, you're starting to lose your abs, and then go on a cut until you get your abs 100% back, and then repeat. And I don't put time frames on that. I do it for as long as it takes. So like my bulks end up longer than my cuts. Like I just got off of like a 2-week cut. That's all I needed to do. I thought I might need to cut for longer, but I didn't put a time frame on. I just cut until I felt like my abs were in the shape I need them to be, and I started bulking again. That's how it works for me, man. But if you want to try this other thing, like I'm all for you guys trying shit out. You should be running all types of experiments all the time, because you'll see what works best for you. You know what I'm saying? You'll never know until you try. Jay Cutler wants to know, how do I stop thinking so much? Meditate, man. Meditate. The dude said, what's up, homie? He says, yo, when you told me you were coming on Facebook, you weren't coming to Norway because it was too expensive. I was looking forward to it, man. You're my favorite. You're my motivation. Yo, thanks, man. You're the reason I made so much gains. He said, yo, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I was gonna come to Norway because some of the guys from Team Incredible went out there for a big calisthenics final, but I just realized I needed to stay at the crib, man. I mean, I could have did it, but it was like those resources could have been better allocated for me, But I appreciate the support, man. How do you build muscle when you do a lot of cardio-based sports? You don't have to like eat a lot, you have to eat a lot. You have to eat a lot. You might want to experiment with weight gainer, see if that's something that works for you, to get the extra calories, because you need more calories. You're gonna need more calories, right? You can do it though. You can definitely do it. Like sprinters, look at any sprinter, man. His sport is fucking a sprinter's sport is cardio. You know what I'm saying? And they're all fucking ripped and they have a good amount of muscle. You need the same amount of calories on rest days or train days. It depends on what your goals are. If I'm cutting, then my calories on rest days are going to be a lot lower. Are going to be even lower, right? because I'm probably eating no carbs on that day. So like just for that reason alone, they'll probably just end up being uh lower because if I'm bulking, I'm bulking, man. I don't really think about it too much, man. Like I just go for it even on rest days. How do I increase the certainty of myself? I'm not exactly sure what you mean. I'm assuming you want to believe in yourself more. Here's a method, and I got this. I'm not making this up. I got this from Bill Phillips. Bill Phillips was one of my idols back in the '90s, right? He was the founder of EAS Sports Nutrition. They are the company that actually brought creatine to the market. He had a magazine called Muscle Media. Um, he wrote a best-selling book, Body for Life. A lot of the advice in there is antiquated now, but it's still a good read. He was like the person I looked up to in the '90s, right? As far as like when I was starting to train this shit. So he wrote the editorial in Muscle Media every week, and he said, listen, one thing you do to build more confidence in yourself is to do things that'll make you more is to do what you say you're going to do. Believe in yourself. So that do what you say you're going to do, and that way you'll start to believe in yourself, right? Because you know that you can count on yourself. You can depend on yourself if you do what you say you're supposed to do, right? So he would say right, every day, write down 5 things you want to do that day, and 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 do those 5 things. Like do those 5 things. If it's the last thing you do, like just make sure you do those 5 things. And after you've done that for a certain amount of time, every day you'll notice, oh man, you'll start to believe in yourself a little more, right? You'll notice that you can do what you say. You notice that you notice that you are doing what you say you're going to do. You are someone you can depend on. You can count on yourself, right? Think of a little kid. Why does little kids think their parents or their dad especially are the fucking greatest person in the world? I remember having kids. I remember having an argument. One of my first argument with another kid was fucking I would say, my dad can beat up your dad. No, my dad can beat up. We were all fucking sure, like not all sure that our dads could beat up the other dads, right? And that's because you depend on your dad. You count on your dad. You've been counting on or your parents. You've been, since you were a kid, you have the utmost confidence in them when you're a baby. Like they're infallible to yourself when you're a kid. They can do no wrong. You think they're fucking superhumans. And the reason you think that is because you have depended on them so long time. You count on them. You know you can count on them. They're always there for you. Now, once you start doing that for yourself, you will have, and you're doing that, and you have a record of doing that for yourself for a certain amount of time, you will start to have that same faith in yourself that a kid has in his dad, for real, man. It starts to happen, but it takes time. It takes time, and it takes. Listen, just write down 5 things you want to do every day, and do those 5 things. Don't write shit that you don't think you might not be able to do. Write shit that you know you're gonna do, you can do, and do it. And like after like a few months of that, you'll start to believe in yourself a little bit more, man. And also, like I said earlier, like the way you hold yourself, man. Hold yourself like have the physiology of somebody who's confident. Don't don't have this kind of physiology, because this is the physiology of someone who doesn't believe in themselves. This is the kind have watch a James Bond movie, right? look at how his mannerisms, how he carries himself. That's a motherfucker who believes in himself. Start to hold yourself like that, and then you start to feel that way. Your motion creates emotion. Will you be doing boot camps outside of the United States, like in Amsterdam? Listen, man, if I come to Amsterdam, it ain't gonna be for no boot camps. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you what, but I might be coming out there, man. Uh, can you do press ups every day? I'm assuming you mean push ups. I mean, yeah, yeah. Listen, you can do anything. I just don't know how effective it's gonna be for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you don't know until you try it. Like, I'm all for experimenting, man. Like, you should be running experiments, seeing what works for you and what doesn't. Like, don't say like people. I'll say something works, so you should try this. Somebody was like, that doesn't work, man. This guy's a fucking dumb nigger. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And I'm just like, yo, man, if you haven't tried it, you don't know if it's gonna work for you or not, right? Everything is hypothetical until it's applied, until you apply it to your own life. Everything is, write that on your fucking brain. Everything is hypothetical until you apply it to your own life. I know people who smoked for 80 years and they didn't get cancer. I'm not saying you should smoke, but I'm saying some people they tell you smoking is going to cause cancer, and most likely it will, but there's some people who won't, right? They tell you that fucking, I don't know. I mean, that's a bad example because I don't. That's not an experiment I want you to run. Like the risk is too high, right? But like, yo, like this, you never know until you try. You never know till you try. Everything is hypothetical till you apply it to your own life. Motherfuckers try to tell me that you can't. I couldn't squat every day, man. And I did that shit. You know, shit worked out pretty well for me. But it worked out better for one of my boys, man. It worked out better for one of my boys. He's like the dude when I did the update video. He got better gains than I did. So I probably won't keep squatting every day, right? I'm gonna try something else, right? But at least I know how well that works for me. You know, he if he would have never tried that, he would have known that he's got the best leg developments from squatting every day than any other parameters he's tried. If he didn't try something new, he wouldn't have known, man. You know, doing push-ups every day might be the best thing that ever happened to you. It might not do shit. You don't know till you try. When people tell you, oh, this works or that works, or this, you know, it's all shit that might work for you. You read any study, they never say that 100% of the participants had favorable results with the protocol or whatever the study was about. They never say 100% of them had saw great results. They never say that. They always say a certain percentage, and based on that percentage, they can tell you how likely it is to work for you, right? Even if you watch a smoking commercial, right? They'll say, "Hey, man, you know, nine out of 10 motherfuckers die from smoking, right?" Or whatever. I'm just making this up. But one motherfucker lives. You know, one motherfucker lives. Now that tells you the likelihood of you dying from smoking is high. So it might be a risk. So it's a risk that you probably don't want to take. But you know, you might be that one guy, man. I don't know. Yo, Brandon, why in 2004 you said it's not necessary to track macros calories, but in 2015 you're like everyone needs to track it? No, I didn't say necessarily the macros. Listen, I didn't say a hard don't track them, like it's a waste of time, or like I always what I always said was tracking macros is the most effective way, right? But my other, like the portion size method, was just an alternative method because I know that meticulously tracking each macro the right way is not sustainable. Most people aren't going to do that, you know. So I provided another alternative, which was the portion size method. What I said, you misinterpreted what I said in 2015. What I said was you need to be writing down everything you eat, right? You definitely need to be writing down everything you eat. And you might not, if I was you, I would use the portion size method, right? So like, you know, a portion of this is a portion of protein, portion of carbs, and you can manipulate how many portions of each for each meal or how many portions of each you get each day. And that's kind of a way of keeping track. It's like guessing. It's guessing, but it's estimating. I'm not guessing. It's estimating your intake, right? And then if you do that for a certain amount of time, you can decide. You'll have the data of your progress. You know if you should increase the portion size or decrease the portion size based on your goals and the results that you're getting. You should always be writing down everything you eat, everything you drink, every rep of every set. When you're going to track macros, if you want to track macros correctly, you have to prepare everything at home in the fucking kitchen. The kitchen's behind me. In the fucking kitchen. Put it in Tupperware and carry it around a fucking cooler. That's what the pros do. That's what pro bodybuilders do. That's what pro physique. That's what people who win trophies are doing. Anybody who, if you're doing anything less than that, then you are just fucking. You don't say you're counting calories. You're estimating calories because they're not weighing the shit in restaurants or whatever else you're eating. They're not weighing the shit out for you. They're not fucking telling you exactly how much oil is in all your food. You're fucking guessing. You know, if you're not weighing all your shit before you eat it, you're just fucking guessing. So I was saying you don't have to go that far. You don't have to fucking weigh everything and put it in Tupperware walking around a cooler. That's all I was saying. You definitely need to be writing down everything. You need to keep track of everything you eat. I didn't just say you totally misinterpreted what you totally misinterpreted what I was saying, bro. I'm just saying. Yo, BBC, I'm 18 years old, 5'10", and around 140 to 150. Should I bulk or cut first? I don't know. You sound like you're pretty skinny. I don't know. Listen, always get as lean as you want to be before you bulk. Always, 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 always. I have a video on why. I don't want to get into it, but if nothing else, like you can put on muscle fat. You can lose fat. Like if you're kind of fat, but you want to put on muscle too, like you can lose fat faster than you can gain muscle. Like I put a video out in the last 2 years, I gained 15 pounds of muscle, less than a pound a month. I've seen people lose 15 pounds of fat in 1 month. You know what I'm saying? Like not 2 years. Like you can lose fat a lot bigger than you can faster than you can gain muscle. So if nothing else, you'll get an instant reward. It's instant. It's like really quick gratification from losing the fat. Then when you start to bulk, see 5 pounds of muscle on a guy with low body fat looks a lot better than 5 pounds of muscle on a fat ass. The fat ass, you might not even notice it, or even a fucking chubby guy, you might not even notice that he put on some 5 pounds of muscle. Like, but 5 pounds of muscle on a skinny guy, it almost looks like he gained 20 pounds of muscle if his body fat's low. When your body fat is low, when you have muscle, you look a lot fucking bigger than you really are. What's the difference between bulking and cutting? You trolling right now, man? Trolling right now? Cutting is being in a caloric surplus. I'm sorry, bulking is being in a caloric surplus, meaning you're ingesting more calories than you burn in order to put on weight. Okay, cutting is being in the caloric deficit, meaning you're burning more calories than you consume in order to burn fat. I don't even know if I should have answered that. Does fish oil smell or taste fishy? Depends on the brand you buy. Please answer. How would you design strength and conditioning for MMA or BBJ fighter? Which exercise and how many reps? Yo, for all athletes, man, I would do full body workouts. Right? Like I know people who competed in NFL. I'm not in the. Oh yeah, I know people in the NFL too, but like who competed high level in like NCAA, you know, like college high level collegiate athletes, and their strength coaches all had them doing full body workouts, or at the most split they would ever do is it's like lower body days and upper body days, but that was rare. Like the whole split thing comes from bodybuilders and bodybuilders that are on. It came from bodybuilding post 1940, right? Like prior to that, all the bodybuilders did full body workouts. You know what I'm saying? Barbell shit, big body movements. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole split thing, it comes from bodybuilding, but like it kind of infiltrated every aspect. So people think like athletes are now, even like athletes are doing split routines. That's the worst thing you could do. Like as an athlete, you need to be doing. If I was doing if I was an MMA fighter, I would be doing full body workouts and a lot of conditioning, a lot of hit cardio, jump rope, shit like that. Like I would a lot of conditioning. But like hit like my boy's a boxer, right? And he was telling me that fuck, who was it? Oscar De La Hoya would do cardio, but he would do like intense cardio for the amount of times the rounds were, and then like his cardio was like a bout, right? So I think a boxing round is 3 minutes. I might be wrong, right? So his cardio would be 3 minutes followed by a minute rest, or however the minute the rest was between rounds. So every day he trained the way he was fighting, and I would do the same shit. All right. Is there a possibility to build a sports-based company from zero, no connections, etc., or is the market infiltrated? Sports-based, that's kind of too vague, right? Like what aspect? Are you selling equipment? Are you doing advice? Are you doing sports nutrition? Are you selling supplements? Are you selling meal plans? Are you coaching athletes? Are you doing online coaching? Are you doing coaching like sports-based? Is it a gym? Like it's too vague for me to really answer that. I would say that, but if I had to answer it in a vague way, I would say that the market is never inflated for anything if you have a competitive advantage. If you don't have a competitive advantage, don't compete. You know what I'm saying? Like don't compete. Don't jump into fucking yeah. If you can't win, don't compete. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I see it, man. If you don't think you're gonna win, if you can't win, don't compete. If you don't have a competitive advantage, do not compete. You know what I'm saying? Find something you can do well and do that. You know, find your unique selling premise. You know, and exploit it. You know, find something that's unique, something you can do better than anyone else, and exploit that, man. You know. And if you're starting a business, man, make sure you have high profit margins, man. At least 100% profit margins, because that will make up for a lot of the mistakes that you're going to make, especially if it's a new business. If you're a new entrepreneur and you sound like that, you need to have high profit margins, at least at 100%. And you calculate profit margins by dividing. You take your cost, the cost of whatever your product is, whatever your cost is, right? Divide that. But no, I'm sorry. You take the retail price, whatever your retail price is, divide that by the cost minus 1, and then that's your profit margin. And yo, it needs to be at least 100%. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't start a business without at least 500% profit margin, right? Because that shit will. Then you want to sell as much to make money, and it will cover any mistakes that you're inevitably going to make mistakes, man. There's a lot of shit. Like I started this out, you're going to make mistakes, man. Should I train neck muscles? I never do that shit. If you're like a wrestler, or like if you do like MMA or anything, then you need that because you can use your head to like, you know, you use your head for shit, you know, to help. But nah, man, fuck that. How many reps would one do if one was not focusing on getting huge, but rather strong and fast? Reps between 1 and 5. Reps between 1 and 5. Explosive reps. And you know, long rest between each set. You know, you want to let your like at least 3 minutes between each set. You want to let your nervous system fully recover so you can lift as much each time. You know, if you were trying to gain size, then you would like cut that rest time down because then that way you increase hypertrophy. But like if you don't want to get big, if you just want to get strong, low reps build strength. You know, I mean reps. I mean do singles. Do one heavy fucking squat. You know, and do like 5-6 sets of that. You know, there's a good book. The 5531 by Jim Weeder. I might be saying his name wrong. It's a good song. This is for powerlifters, right? You should follow up powerlifting kind of parameters. Check that book out. Someone said, "What are your thoughts on anal during sex?" I've done that once with one chick, right? And she was like, however, man, I was like in college. It was I met this chick, spring break. I met her in we were driving back from spring break, right? We were driving from Miami back to DC, and I met her in a mall in Atlanta, right? But she was from Houston. She was on spring break too, right? And we met, right? But then we just exchanged numbers, we kept in touch. And then I don't know, we kind of just hit it off, you know what I'm saying? Like we would talk and text each other. We kind of just hit it off. We liked each other. She was older than me though. She was like a grad student, and I was like, it was my freshman year of college, right? But she was like a grad student. She was about to graduate from college and shit. So like later that summer, I fucking flew to Houston to hang out with her. And then first night we started fucking, man, she said she wanted me to fuck her in the ass, man. And I was like, all right, listen, baby, I aim to please. And then she had some Vaseline, man. I put some Vaseline on my dick and fucked her in the ass. And it was cool, you know what I'm saying? It was cool, It was cool. And then like later on, like that summer, she flew to Chicago to come hang out with me. And like we had a hotel room or whatever. And yo, man, she just whipped the Vaseline out of her purse, man, like so she get her ass fucked. I'm like, damn, all right. I mean, all right, I'm saying it's cool. It's not something I request, but if I aim to please. Yo, Brandon, is it okay to mix up calisthenics and weight workouts? I do full body workouts, example, Monday, Cali on Wednesday, blah, blah, blah. Listen, when I do my full body workouts, I do calisthenics like right after or in between, right? Like I mix. I don't separate the two. Like I don't separate the two. Like I'll do like muscle ups will be part of my full body workout, right? And that is great because it's a total upper body movement. Or like handstand push-ups, I might do as part of my shoulder workout. Like I don't separate the two. I mean, fuck, man. If you maybe you're more into calisthenics than me, right? So maybe your calisthenics workout is like an hour. I mean, that split sounds fine depending on what your goals are, but it sounds a little like too mild. Like if I was you, I would do calisthenics in the morning and weights at night, every other day or something like that, and have a day to rest in between. That's what I would do if I was like. And I've done that. I've done follow those parameters. But then at the end of the day, it's still you have to see what works for you. What workouts would be best for someone trying to become a professional basketball player? You want to get stronger, but you want to get. You know what? It's like it's going to be individualized. Like when I train pro athletes, like when I train athletes, I see what their goals are, what they're trying to accomplish, where they feel like they need to improve, and then we tailor the workout towards them. Some basketball players need to get bigger, right? Because they're so skinny. So like I'll put them on a hypertrophy based parameters. I mean, just off the top of my head, I'd probably put a basketball player at reps between 6 and 8, right? Because they need to get strong, but they also need to put on some size too, right? Because most basketball players are so skinny. There's a reason like LeBron is so dominant because he's so big and strong. Like I once read I was reading Wilt Chamberlain's autobiography. It's called The View from Above. Anybody who knows anything about Wilt Chamberlain knows why that's hilarious. But so yeah, I was reading. He was saying one of the reasons why he was so dominant. Like I don't think like kids don't understand how dominant. There's like Jordan was the man. Jordan's the best basketball player ever. But Wilt Chamberlain was so fucking dominant during his time. Like it wasn't unusual for him to have a 100-point game. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just crushed. He was the most dominant player on the field, on the court. Now Michael Jordan's still better because his competition was a lot better, whatever. But Wilt Chamberlain, nobody dominated the game of basketball like Wilt Chamberlain did during his time. And he said in his autobiography, he said the reason is because he lifted weights. And like back then, they thought that lifting weights were bad for basketball players, especially they thought it was bad for basketball players. They thought it would make them slower and it would throw their shot off. And it will unless you shoot every day. You have if you're going to be lifting weights, you need to shoot every day. So your strength, because your strength is going to increase. It's not going to increase dramatically like in a week or nothing. It's going to be, over a certain amount of time, it's going to be slow. So as your strength increases, you shooting every day. So you don't really notice as far as your shot. Your shot will adapt to the new strength slowly. Anyway, that's what I was saying. It's important to lift weights as a basketball player, man, because and also when I play basketball, man, I box kids out, I do all this shit. Them motherfuckers fly around the court, man. They fly around the court because I'm so much stronger. Or I set a pick, motherfuckers fall down. Motherfuckers running to me, they fall down. My size, my strength, it's an advantage on the court. Because I'm not the most skilled basketball player out there. Those kids play basketball every day. But when I'm out there, man, I'm not the easiest person to guard, and you definitely don't want me guarding you. And you can be way taller than me, you're probably still not gonna get the rebound. So the stress and anxiety have negative effects on. Whoa, we've been doing this shit for an hour and a half. Doesn't even feel like it. The stress and anxiety have negative effects on the body as far as fat, weight gain, blah blah blah. Yeah, man. Stress and when you're stressed out, you release a stress hormone called cortisol. I might be pronouncing that wrong. And that hormone lowers your testosterone levels, and it tells your body to start storing fat. And when that hormone is up, you're gonna store fat. You're gonna start breaking down muscle. You want to keep cortisol down. You want to keep testosterone high. They're never both at the same high or low at the same time, right? High testosterone levels, low cortisol. High cortisol, low testosterone levels. So when you're fucking stressed out, your testosterone levels are going to drop, man. So you got to get that under control. If you're meditation really helps. Meditation helps. You got to learn to control your emotions, man. Meditation, controlling your physiology. You got to start thinking to yourself, is this some shit that's worth, getting stressed out over? Can you have cheat days while you're cutting? Not only can you have cheat days while you're cutting, you should have cheat days while you're cutting. Everyone should, because if you're in a caloric deficit for too long, your body, your hormone levels will start to drop, your testosterone levels will start to drop, and your cortisol levels will start to raise because your body will think it's starving, right? So if you have a cheat day, you let your body know, hey, I'm not starving. Cool. Now I can release. It raises your hormone levels back up to the levels required to burn fat. A cheat day is almost fucking mandatory. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, that's why people be like, "Yo, man, I've been dieting. It was working at first, but then it stopped, man. I've been eating good. It just stopped. I just started to plateau." And I'm like, "Yo, have you had any cheat days?" They're like, "Nah, man." And they think it's good that they haven't, but nah, man, you need to have a cheat day, man. You need to tell your body you're not starving, so your hormone levels will come back up. What's a good forearm workout? I like masturbation. No, I'm just joking. I don't work out my forearms, man. That's silly, man. I mean, whatever. Get on put your hands on the bench, if this was a bit on the bench, and do that shit with some barbells or dumbbells. But I mean, fuck, man, don't work out your forearms, man. That's silly. So Brandon, what do you think about that Blood Money? Talk about the track, the song. You know what? I was thinking about it today, and I was thinking that's probably why my old channel got deleted, man. Because my old channel, I used to, because I was a musician before. I've been, playing guitar, played keyboard. I used to be signed to Sony Records as a rapper. I produced music, all that shit. And I had that song, that song Blood Money, and I had some other songs, some other real political type shit, real You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why they took my shit down, man. I was just thinking about today. I was like, man, that's probably why they took down that my old page, man. So when I started this page, I was like, let me just keep it strictly fitness shit, you know. But I think that's why, man. I think that Blood Money song. If any of y'all heard it, man, y'all know I've seen some real shit. What's the safest and fastest way to lose weight and become cut? All you had to do, is burn more calories than you consume. That's all you got to do, man. The easiest way is what I used to do, man. When I was like my most ripped, all I ate was meat, vegetables. All I ate was meat and vegetables, and then I would only eat carbs after I lifted weights or did calisthenics, like after resistance training. But yeah, man, like you're basically gonna be in caloric deficit when you do that. Your insulin levels are gonna be low, which is important for burning fat, right? Because insulin is an anabolic hormone, right? And when you eat carbohydrates, especially sugar, simple carbohydrates or processed carbohydrates, your insulin levels rise. And the insulin level is fine. That's fine. It's an anabolic hormone, but it's indiscriminately anabolic, meaning it'll rush nutrients to your muscle cells, but it'll also rush nutrients to your fat cells. It also make you're not, and you can't burn fat. Your body doesn't like to burn fat when insulin levels are high, right? So but insulin levels are low, your body will use your fat stores as energy. You know what I'm saying? And so the only time I would deliberately spike my insulin levels is after resistance training. And I've done that while bulking too, right? Like I've done it with carb backloading. You see my video, carb backloading. I did that for a while too. And like you bulk slower, but you stay lean, you know. So that's keep your insulin levels low. You can eat you can eat basically as much meat and vegetables as you want, but eat more vegetables than anything, like green leafy vegetables, and only eat carbs after your workout, after resistance training, not after cardio. And you'll get lean, man. I mean, that shit works for everybody, bro. Some people be like, yo, yeah, that shit works. Should I have 8 eggs a day while cutting? I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know where you're at. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what your caloric needs are. Try it and see if you still lose fat. And if you don't, then reduce it. You know, that's the only way. Like everybody's different. Everybody's at a different place. So you want to see what's works best for you. Do I have any joint problems? No. I have no joint problems. I have like little injuries. Like I have like I have a herniated disc. I have some kind of pinched nerve back here in like this trap muscle. Other than that, man, I'm Gucci. Oh, I saw something. What to eat to prevent joint pain? I don't know, man. Like if you have serious joint pain, you should probably consult someone about it. See like a professional. I'm not really qualified to give medical advice. Do I have a game system? Nah, man, I don't play video games. I know a lot of you guys like playing video games, and I have nothing against them. I have nothing against them. I'm sure it's fine. It's recreation, right? It's recreation. Like that's what you guys do for fun. Like I fucking make videos for YouTube videos for fun. So that's a lot weirder. That's a lot weirder than playing a video game. But yeah, man. Just me. I just don't like to pretend to do shit, man. I just don't like to pretend to do shit. And that's just me. I'm not saying anything's wrong with it. I just don't like pretending to do shit. I don't even like reading fiction. Like everything I read is nonfiction. I like to stay rooted in reality. And it's like, yo, man, I have a fucking basketball court by my house. I fucking shoot real guns. Like you see my highlight video, the videos, my 2000 my highlight reel. from last year. Like I shoot real guns, man. Like so I don't know. I never felt compelled to play video games. I'll say it like that. Can you target specific fat areas? No, you cannot burn fat in one spot. Can you explain micro cutting and bulking a little bit? I have a video on it, man, but whatever. I'll try to let me see if I can explain it a little better for you. First, you get as lean as you want to be. So it might not be a micro cut. You might have to go on a legit cut. Get as lean as you want to be. Then bulk. Then bulk as if you're traditionally bulking, right? Just bulk until your abs, you feel like you're starting to get fat. Until your abs go away. Like you might want to cut until you have visible abs. And when you feel like your abs are going away, then just when they start, not when they're all, don't wait till they're all the way gone. When they start going away, like visibly, then you go back on a cut. And you cut till you get your abs back in order, or your waistline back in order, and then bulk again. And that's basically how you do it. It's like, so like for me, a bulk would be like a month, maybe 3 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, right? And a cut, depending on how clean I'm eating during the bulk, right? And then the cut would be like 2 or 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, depending on how well the cut is going. You know what I'm saying? So like that, and the reason it's called micro cutting and micro bulking because it's basically the same way the bodybuilders do. Only they'll bulk for the whole fucking year and then cut for the whole fucking year just to peak for one show, right? So that during the off season they look like shit. You know, they're all working out in their hoodies and they're all fat. And it works. It just works better for people who want, and guys who want steroids bulk like that because it works better. It works better for guys who want steroids. I'm gonna be honest with you. It just doesn't work. It's not gonna work that well for a natural bodybuilder. That traditional bulking and cutting, bulking for 6 months and cutting 6 months. I've seen guys do that shit and break even. Like, I'm not saying everybody who does that shit is on steroids, but I will say that if you're on steroids, that's gonna work a lot better for you than it will for a natural guy. You know what I'm saying? Any sleeping tips? Could you do a video on it? Yeah, I think I did do a video on it. I'm pretty confident I have. But what I do is I have blackout curtains, so like no light can penetrate the curtains. You know, so and I cover up all the lights, like the lights on the cable box, the lights on the fucking modem, the lights on the computer, and there's no lights in the room. All right, and I put the humidifier on. That is winter. So like my room is pitch black, kind of cold, and the humidifier is on. Okay, and then I also take melatonin, 5-HTP, and GABA, GABA, and ZMA. These are all this is all natural stuff. You know, I have a video on it, and I take that before I go to bed, and then I sleep fucking good as fuck, man. Like the way when there's the light really affects. There's been a lot of studies. The light in the room, if there's any light penetrating, it's going to affect your sleep. Not only the sleep, the quality of your sleep, because like you can detect it through your eyelids. So you want to block out all the light, you know, and you want to make your room cold if possible. What does your girl say about you filming these little hoes? Listen. Secure people don't get jealous, right? Like she knows what she's worth, you know what I'm saying? And she knows that, you know, if I was off doing some wild shit, that she could just leave and get another fucking guy, you know? Like she's securing herself, you know? And that's what I want, man. That makes me happy. Like I want someone who's secure. If she was all jealous and crazy, I wouldn't want to be with her. And she definitely couldn't be with someone like me. It wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work if she wasn't secure, you know? You can't be with a motherfucker like me and be insecure. And I can't be with an insecure motherfucker, right? And I think, and people are more attracted, like I'm more attracted to her because she's secure. Because the average woman is not, you know, the average woman is wildly insecure. That's why they play. When you see somebody playing like games or like, you know, like doing shit like keeping score, or let me let me, I'll wait. I'll text him back the exact same amount of time it took him to text me. I'll text him. Or you see somebody like doing shit to make you jealous, or just playing games, doing silly shit. They're immature and they're insecure, right? Because a secure person feels like, yo, I'm the shit, man. I don't have to play all these games. I'm the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to do all this fucking crazy shit. Either they're gonna fuck with me or they're not. Either they're gonna like me or they're not. And if they don't, that's cool. I'll find someone who does, right? And that's what I want. People find that attractive. Like, when you're insecure, you exude that. You exude that a neediness. You know, you're trying to impress people, or you're trying to, how do I put it? Like, you're doing things to try to make people like you. You know, you're putting on airs and things of that nature. Like, a secure person doesn't have to do that, and it's attractive, man. Like, you find, like, when someone's just secure and they have confidence in themselves and they believe in themselves, like, that's the sexiest shit in the world. You know, someone who's insecure and like, oh, does he like me? Does she like me? Is he gonna do? What am I gonna do? And they're playing games and they're being silly, or they're clingy. Oh, please don't go away. I need to be around you. Or they're jealous, like that. All that shit reeks of insecurity, and it's unattractive. But security is sexy, man. Security, confidence is sexy, man. So I'm dealing with extremely confident woman, and that's sexy to me, you know. And same thing with you. Like, women will find you if you're just confident, secure. You don't have to play games. You don't have to put on airs. You're not trying to impress. You're not going out of your way to impress her or show off or anything like that. You just believe in yourself, man. You don't even have to say it. You just exude it. You know, women are going to find that attractive, man. And it's going to be you have more women you know what to do with. What compound exercise are you doing? How many? I think I got videos on that, man. I got videos on that shit, bro. I got videos. Like, just check some more full body workout videos in here. Like, it'd be easier for me than for me to, like, I can show you better than I can tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should check the video. So, Brandon, how did you graduate from high school at age 17? I started school early. My parents put me in school early, man. Like, I just started school a year early. I think it was like detrimental though, like, because I was just always a little less mature than everyone else. I could tell, like, um, I was just always a little less mature. Just a silly motherfucker, you know. Um, I had friends who grew up in Texas, and their parents held them back, you know, right? Motherfuckers starting school at age 6 and 7, right? That's so that way they're the biggest motherfuckers on the football team and shit. You know, like they have a competitive advantage, or they're bigger in sport, tallest motherfucker on the basketball team. They have a competitive advantage, and I was like, I don't know, the opposite. What do you think about Athlean X channel? And the dude wrote that about 17 times. I don't think about other people's channels really, you know, like, he's cool. He's in shape for an old guy, you know, for an older guy. You know, I mean, I'm old too. You know, he's in shape for an older guy, man. But I think he's older than me. He's in pretty good shape. Can you cut on just abs? I mean, can you cut on just carbs? Yeah. I mean, yeah. Listen, all you got to do to burn fat, all you got to do to burn fat is burn more calories than you consume. You know, it's going to be harder because carbohydrates actually have a lot of calories, like more calories than meat and vegetables. Someone says I started the gains in development. That's what's up, homie. Any advice on vegetarian body building bulk? You know, how to get the most protein. Yeah, the thing about see, one of the drawbacks of being a vegetarian is vegetable protein. The amino acid profile in vegetables protein is not as complete, right? They're actually like subpar proteins, you know. So you have to make sure you get a variety of you have to make sure you get your protein from a variety of sources, because the amino acid profile is going to be incomplete. So you want to get as many proteins as you can. If I was you, I would fucking eat fish, at least eat fish. I don't know, man. Or at least eat eggs. Like, are you vegan? You maybe get some dairy in there if you can. Want to try to get animal protein some kind of way. Like, I don't like, if you're not vegan, try to get as much animal protein as you can via eggs or fish. If you're eating it, you might be, because vegetarian, it can mean a lot of different things. I know people call themselves vegetarians, but they eat fish. So I don't know. But if you're a vegan, it's gonna be really fucking hard, right? You just got to get as much. You got to get many different kind of proteins, just many different kind of proteins, because I'm not saying it's possible. It can be done, but you just have to get many different proteins from a variety of different sources, because it's not as complete in vegetables. Please answer. Do you believe in the law of a life, career, jobs, and yeah, all right. I mean, I'm not going to go as far as to say I believe in the law of attraction or any of that new age hocus pocus. What I will say is I do believe heavily in the power of positive thinking. You know what I'm saying? So like, we can study that, like, because there's evidence, right? Like you watch The Secret, and they'll tell you that you fucking think, you sit around thinking about a bicycle with some old man's going to bring it to you, right? And I just don't know if the world works like that. I mean, that hasn't been my experience. That hasn't been my experience. Or like, you can sit around thinking, fucking watching funny movies, not going to the doctor, and they'll kill your cancer. Like, the people I know who beat cancer did chemotherapy, and then they actually beat the cancer. I know a few people who beat cancer. Like, the cancer went away, and it's never. They went to the fucking doctor. They didn't sit around watching funny movies. So like, I would say, man, I believe in action more than anything, man. I believe in action, man. Like, if you're having a problem, difficult period of life, I'm sorry to hear that, but that happens to everybody though. Like, I don't want you to think this is something that's unique to you. This is going to happen to a lot of people. I've been through situations, bro. Like, I thought about no bullshit, and I might be genetically predisposed to that kind of thinking, right? Because my father actually did kill himself, shot himself in the head. So what I will say is, you get action, man. Like, when I was in those holes, man, I said, you know what, fuck it, I'm not gonna give up, man. I just went after it. I just went after it, man. I just went at whatever the shit I was trying to do. I fucking went after it. Fucking gun, two guns up, metaphorically, two guns up, kick up the door, charge the castle, go after it. Wake up early, man. Attack, 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 attack. Go on offense, man. Go on offense, right? You feel like the world's coming against you. You feel like you're just playing defense. Nah, man, go on offense. Go on offense. Attack, attack, attack. Whatever's happening, man, go for it, man. You want to climb out of that fucking hole, man. Attack. Set a goal. Set a goal, and don't just fucking chase your fucking goal. Fucking grab it by his head, rip the fucking head off, shit down his fucking neck, punt his fucking head down the fucking street. Like, go after it. Go on offense, man. That's what I believe in. Well, I don't like the law of attraction. Look, man, the universe is so big, and there's so much. I'm not willing to say yay or nay on that or anything, right? I'm open to almost anything, but I'm not trying to put my fucking hope. I don't. I think that's too passive. It's just think happy thoughts and hope shit works out. You know what I'm saying? That's too passive. You should be going after it. Get after it. Good after it. Fucking attack, 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 attack. You know what I'm saying? And but I do, because if you stay positive, like how do I put this? Like people react to it, man. Like you can tell people like to be around people who are sad and depressed. People don't feel like helping those people, but everybody wants to be around the positive person who's talking about good things. You know, like people talking about problems, nobody wants to be around that motherfucker. Nobody wants to help that motherfucker either. You know, but a person who's thinking positive, believes in himself, even when fucking chips are down, man, you gotta believe in yourself. You think when fucking Peyton Manning's down, fucking you fucking 2 touchdowns, and it's the fourth quarter, you think he's like, oh fuck, guys, I don't know, man. Nah, man, he's like, he's fucking encouraging, man. We can do this shit. He's encouraging. He's positive. Let's fucking get after it. But then he goes on offense. All right, he doesn't sit around thinking happy thoughts and just hoping that it works out. He fucking goes on. He stays positive and he believes in himself and goes on offense. And that's the same way you're gonna dig yourself out of this hole, man. Good luck to you. Somebody says, is it possible to tell me why you track your mood and thoughts throughout the day? He saw my video on training log, and at the time, I'm not doing it right now, but at the time I was tracking my mood and my thoughts, because like I said, I believe in positive thinking. I believe in everything's a habit, and at the time I was just trying to train myself to think a certain way, like once you get in the habit of thinking positive and not and being and not letting yourself get down. Once you build the habit of doing it, you'll do it automatically. So like my whole thing of keeping track of my mood was, first of all, just if those of you who've read Willpower, just paying attention to something. When you just start paying attention to something, you automatically improve it, right? Because now just being conscious of it, like most people aren't conscious of their mood. It's something they don't even believe they can control it. They let life control their mood, or they let other people control their mood. Like other people aren't in control of my mood. The motherfucker can say some bullshit to me, but it doesn't mean I'm going to get upset or let it or be emotionally affected by it, because I don't give other people that kind of power to control my mood or my emotions. It's too important to me to put in the hands of another motherfucker, right? Or even circumstances, right? You don't even want your circumstances to control your mood. You want to be in charge of it. So the whole thing was, when I was doing that, it was just to think about it more, to be more conscious of my mood, and also by doing so to deliberately high, keep my mood high, to stay positive, to stay, because I coming at, this is the thing, I got motherfuckers coming at me all the time. Motherfuckers talk shit about me, motherfuckers. You can look at the comments on my videos, man. Somebody right now on each of my videos, somebody's calling me a dumb nigger, right? And you can't let that shit affect your emotions. You know what I'm saying? You can't get emotionally involved in that. I have to stay the course on what I'm trying to accomplish. And so, like, right, rule number, because I'm trying to accomplish it, and that's the only way you can get back at. Really, that's the only way you can get back at motherfuckers who, law of 48 laws of power. Law number 9, man: win through actions, never through arguments. So I don't say I'm not a dumb nigger, I'm a smart African American. No, man, I just fucking delete the comment or ignore it and just keep writing best-selling books. Keep writing books that go on the motherfucking Amazon bestseller list. You know what I'm saying? So like you want to stay positive. So I was just trying to train myself to stay as positive as possible. You know what I'm saying? Despite everything that's happening. Despite any internal turmoil, because shit is gonna go wrong. People are gonna fuck with you. Shit ain't always gonna go right. But you have to stay positive regardless of that. I thoroughly believe in that. That's the only way to do it. This thing about Peyton Manning, oh man, he's not sitting around. Says what's up, y'all. He's not sitting around crying about it. Say it might be down, and he fucking still goes for it. Not like J punk ass Color who might fucking cry in the huddle. Yeah, it was just throw the football. Sound like you have tunnel vision. I don't know what that means, but yeah, and on my fingertips. I don't. I mean, you know. What's the best food to eat to build muscle and not put on fat? Uh, I mean, to build muscle, I have a video of my top five muscle building foods, and the amount of fat you put on is going to be more about like that's going to be more about your total carbohydrate. I mean, about your total. It's going to be more about your total caloric intake. How much above surplus are you? And you have to fucking this motherfucker. You have to see what works for you. You're gonna have to like experiment. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see what works for you, and that's the beauty of keeping a log. You know, you see what works for you. Why do you meditate? Suggested benefits. Like I said before, meditation just helps me control my emotions better, which is something that I think is important. Uh, you always want to be cool, calm, and confident. You never want to feel like shit, like you're out of control. It's like it's just a strategically. It's not. It's not strategically manage to panic, or like to be down. Like meditation just helps you get you a certain mental clarity. Like, yeah, I make better decisions frequently. Someone says, Brandon, you're awesome. Man, thanks, bro. When's your next book coming out about abs? I don't know, man. Writing books is a fucking. I mean, writing good books. I could have slapped some shit together, but writing books to me, it's like it was mentally draining, man. Like I don't know. I don't know, man. But I started to write the ads book instead of Ultimate Mass, and then I changed my mind because that book is going to take a lot out of me. So I don't know, man. I don't know. To be honest, I don't. Whenever I mentally gear up to put myself in that mode, you should write another book. I will write another book. The next book probably won't be finished, but probably be some personal development. You know what I'm saying? Some shit that I feel like might help you guys. Does cold burn fat? Because I'm walking around in the stringer and it's below zero. Yeah, you're gonna get ripped, bro. You're gonna get ripped. And or hypothermia. Can you give us an experience you had when you smoked weed? All right. Yeah. I was like in high school, man. Tight as fuck, man. I couldn't even move. And I was with my boy. We were just sitting on the couch. And then I don't know what happened. Like whatever we were watching went off, and then Sabrina the Teenage Witch came on, right? And we were either too high to find remote control or just too high to care, right? So we just started watching that, and then my my dad came on, and right when my dad came on, RuPaul came on the screen, and so like I guess I don't know if RuPaul was on that show all the time. RuPaul, for those of you who don't know, was like a fucking is a drag queen, right? And fucking I just looked at my dad's face, and maybe I was just high and paranoid. I was like, "Fuck, Dad, man. Dad thinks we gay as hell right now. I know he thinks we gay as fuck right now." And then, but I didn't try to like change. I was just like, "Yeah, Dad thinks this guy's my boyfriend, and there's really nothing I can do about it." So, guess there's that. Yo, how often should I do abdominal assault? Because it worked for me. Cool, man. That's awesome, man. Like I would say, like, yo, listen, like every other day is a good day to do like ab program or especially one like that. So somebody write something for the pain's killing. Thank you, man. That's my shit. Appreciate that shit, bro. Favorite NBA team, Chicago Bulls, man. Chicago Bulls. I have an autographed Derrick Rose ball. Um, I mean, I'm from Southside Chicago, bro. Like I grew up. You gotta understand, man. Like I was growing up in the '90s, man. Jordan was a god. So like that's still in me, man. The Bulls are doing great, man. That kid Jimmy Butler is crushing it. I hope we can sign him again. Noah's doing his thing. We looking good, man. We looking real good. Can you make a decent living off personal training? Yeah, you can make a decent living off it, but I wouldn't suggest it. Like I mean, I'm because like personal training, you is literally exchanging time for money, right? And you can get your hourly rate up high, but you can't. I mean, how do you can't really scale it? It's a job, right? And maybe I'm more of a businessman than I am an employee, right? And even if you're doing it for yourself, you have your own personal training business. If you're doing the training, then you're employing yourself, right? You're self-employed. You gave yourself a fucking job, so it's really just a fucking job, right? And I just don't think that's the best way to make money. I think that's I don't know. Brandon, how did you get yourself? Uh, how did you get yourself? How did I get to the point where I was homeless? And I don't know if I want to talk about how I got there, man. A series of poor decisions. I'll put it that way, man. A series of poor decisions. But how do you learn to make good decisions? How do you become better at making decisions? By making bad decisions. So like that was a good experience, man. I think all of you guys should fuck up a lot, especially while you're young, man. Fuck up, make some big, big, colossal mistakes. Hurt yourself, get embarrassed, make a fool of yourself. Really injure yourself. Like do some things, make some real big mistakes. Provided that you learn from it, you you're gonna like I hear all this shit like everybody's so afraid to make a mistake or they're afraid they're gonna get hurt doing something. Nah, man, you need to fuck yourself up a few times, man. I feel like one, it builds character. Fucking yourself up builds character. And two, man, it's just like it's good for you, man. It's good for you because you learn so much. You learn so much by making big, big mistakes. More it's like sometimes I tell people shit, like, especially like White Boy Brian. I'd be like, listen, man, because he's like a little brother to me. And I'd be like, listen, man, this is a big mistake what you're about to do. And I know it's not gonna make sense to you now, but I just remember that I said this was a big mistake. I know, and I want to go on record as saying you shouldn't do it. I know you're gonna do it anyway, but I just want you to know why this is a mistake. I'll tell them why, but you're gonna have to experience it for you to learn. Like it's not something I'm gonna be able to. I can't do. I can explain it to you, but this is something you're gonna have to experience. You this up on your own to really grasp it and learn from it. And then it'll happen just as I laid out, just the same way I laid out. And it will be like, yeah, I know you said it, but I thought this. I'm like, yeah, I know I know you thought that. I know you thought that, man. I know you're young and you think you're infallible, but you know, that's part of it. I'm glad this happened though, because you learned something. You learned something, man. Make some big mistakes. Really fuck up. That's gonna be good for you, man. All right, man. This shit is. I'm about to end this shit. It's 7:04. Um, Wifey is home. She crept in. She crept in the crib, so I'm gonna go say what's up to her, man. Um, George is still over here. He's sleeping on my lap now. I'm gonna probably just, yeah. That's about it, guys. I hope that shit help, man. I hope that shit help. Um, we're gonna do this every Wednesday. Every Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Uh, do every Wednesday at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So Google that and see what time it is. Google will tell you what time that is in your country or your area. And yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Wait a minute. Something. Oh, there's one I wanted to fucking answer. I saw it. I saw it pop up. Oh, all right. Kenny Cox said, I've been watching this the whole time. Still no answer. Do you believe in doing planks for abs? And if so, high reps or low reps? Listen, if you watch any of my abdominal assault videos, you'll see how I integrate planks into training. Like watch some of my abdominal assault videos. Planks on their own, like just planks, that's probably like if I just did them on my own, man, like I'm above that. Like I know how that sounds, but like maybe for a regular motherfucker, that shit might be beneficial or useful. But I'm above that on their own. But because I'm advanced, I have another way to integrate them into my ab routine where it's useful. And to watch some of the abdominal assault videos, you'll see what I'm talking about. And I think that will be beneficial for anyone, even if you're not advanced. I think it'll benefit. So anyway, hope that helps, man. Every day, 5 o'clock, guys. 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday. All right. Peace.